we as business owners have to remember, if we do everything exactly the same as every other business that's like ours, then we are no different.
Yeah, there's no loyalty.
There's no individuality.
Nope.
And thus you're not breeding loyalty, because ultimately the output of the product is going to be exactly the same.
And I can get that kind of treatment cheaper somewhere else.
In most cases. Madeline, today we are going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart.
Oh.
Because...
Is it about me?
Well, everything's about you.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I am the one topic near and dear to your heart.
Yes. True. But let's go forward.
Okay.
So today we're going to talk about, it is every business owner's responsibility to adapt technology in order to enhance productivity and create efficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in today's space, we're seeing a lot of that with the introduction of AI and how people are doing that. But what I want to make sure that our audience understands, there's one major risk that can come about from technology,
Mm-hmm.
is if you don't keep in mind the human element and what the service and why people keep coming back to you and the loyalty that needs to be created. And the way I want to set this up is I want to talk about our banking relationship. When we started many years ago, we opened up a business banking account. We had a business banker. His name was Bill. We knew Bill. Bill knew us. He got to learn us and everything else. As time progressed,
Mm-hmm.
and we would deposit a lot of checks. And over time, you would go in. So I guess it is about you. You would go in with the deposit, right? And you got to know the tellers got to know you. And somehow, every time you went to the bank, Bill would come around from his office and say, "Hey, Madeline," Now, I don't know if he had a camera or something, or if he just
but I call that customer service.
I know. But as time has progressed, right? Yeah. And I remember, I don't think it was because I was bringing the deposit in, but they said, we have this device that you can deposit your own checks.
Mm.
And we tried it.
We did.
And then we stopped using it because it didn't really work. But my point there is over time that, I would be bringing these deposits in, and there were a lot of checks that we were depositing. We were doing a lot of transactions, and it was busy and things like that. And I remember one of the tellers saying, you should really look at using this technology. Mm-hmm. And I said, I used that technology. It didn't really work well. By the way, you should be thanking me. And they looked at me and they said, why? And I said, because I bring this in and this is what you do. Mm-hmm. I said, all companies are looking to find efficiencies and productivity, but I believe in bringing this in and having the experience. Now, over time, we have started to use that technology. We still take some of our deposits in, but I think that just reminded me for this conversation is that how important the human element still and will always be for building loyalty and the overall experience of the relationship you have with companies you do business with. So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that is going to be a big problem because we are accustomed as society, right, that we don't know how to give that next level of experience. And if you've never done it, you're not going to do it, right? So how relevant are you as it continues to evolve and less human interactions are happening? So I remember when BNN started and we were not technologically advanced like we are today, but even today, what we do, we incorporate some sort of a communication coming from us, letting them know how appreciative we are of their business, right? Because without them, we can't function, right? They're the engine of our business. That's our signing agents. And, but even our clients, when I remember during the holidays or even monthly, we will pick a random, one of our top producers, and we would send them lunch as an appreciation of how much our relationship meant to us. That created the loyalty factor. Therefore, we still have clients that have been around for 17 years with us, and they won't go anywhere. They won't go anywhere for different reasons, right? But more importantly, they remember what it's like to be treated with respect and appreciation. And I think that we need to, as society continues to evolve in the interaction of AI, it would behoove us if we can find something that can create that experience for them, for their client. And a lot of the ones that are in online might have a little bit more difficulty, right? Because it's a different kind of relationship, but still, I was talking earlier and with somebody, and he mentioned the one text with a video saying, "Hey, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for being there." So things like that. What can you do in your business that is going to separate you from the noise? We talk a lot about noises, right? And there's a lot of noise going on right now. But what can you really do to make that you stand out? And understand that, can you make it part of your onboarding strategy, right? And so something different that can separate you from everyone else. So, I will invite everybody that does have a business and are interacting with people, either incorporate a systematically or even a personal touch to reach out to their clients and do something extra.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I look at there are a few, there's obviously a lot of companies that do this really well. I think, mm-hmm. For example, Apple. Apple is a technology company that still has stores, mm-hmm. right? And what Apple did really well, in my opinion, is they built not only a really good product, but they also built a really amazing community. And, you think about it, people are excited to go to the Apple store and wait for an hour.
But you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because, and Apple did this strategically. The reason why they have those stores that are seemingly the phones, so people can play with it, yep. So they can touch it and feel it and get emotionally attached. So you can wait that hour or wait in line for whatever it is that you came to the store for. So they are very strategic into that.
Right, but the experience when you go to the store is you're greeted, mm-hmm. your name is taken, you're mm-hmm. put online, right? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Then people come up to you randomly, it's not random, they come up to you and they ask you if they can help you, if they want to touch, if you want to touch and try something, mm-hmm. if you want to see how something works. So to me, what they've done a great job is keeping an interactive experience for your customer. I think, the simple one is Chick-fil-A with this, the easy way of saying it was my pleasure. If they don't say it, you miss it. Mm-hmm. Right? I think there's lots of things that people can do in you'd mentioned the online experience, but online experiences, even in places that are fitness studios, right, are becoming online tools to schedule your class or your appointment. But when you walk in the door, you can do something that's not technology. You can do something that's human. That how you greet. And I remember this vividly, and what you did at our fitness studio is that you basically scripted in our process flow and our standard operating procedures, when somebody walks in, what they should hear, how they should feel, right? From a standpoint of what you're delivering. Mm-hmm. You gave them the ability to have a one-on-one interaction with a human through the check-in process.
Yes.
Even though the check-in process was click your name.
Yep.
But there was an interaction.
How are you today? Right? What are you looking forward to? The class is going to be amazing today. Anything that creates that connection and that makes them feel good. I mean, I've been into places where I walk in and they don't even know I'm there.
Exactly. And so where's the loyalty? Because ultimately, unless something else is happening around that, and you mentioned also, again, you mentioned online businesses. Well, if you are a person that's and you've built a course, right? The simplest thing that person that built the course can do, because those are usually evergreen, right? They're on autopilot. Here's your, somebody expressed interest. They go into the funnel. They're getting their email communications. They may see some videos, but there's really no interaction.
Checkings. There's no checkings.
Right. But what if the owner or the lead person that built this course randomly picked up a phone, recorded a video, and texted it or emailed it to him and said, "Hey, Madeline, this is David. I saw that you took advantage of this course. I wanted to check in and see how you're doing.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, reply back to me and we will have a call."
Yes.
And imagine if that person actually said, "I do have a question." And the next thing he has is, whether it's FaceTime, Google Meets, or whatever they decide to use, is all of a sudden, "Hey, you said you wanted to talk about it. How can I help you?" Imagine what people would feel.
They will feel special.
They would feel special.
Yeah.
I remember one of the things, and I told you I did this when because people, even for us, when they're going and they're looking to talk to us about our coaching and our strategies and leadership.
Our immersives.
Immersives, they sometimes do the discovery call, and they don't really have a conversation with us. They're just actually filling out a form and they're setting up an appointment. So what I do is I do a personal video text back to them saying, "Thank you. I'm looking forward to," and then hopefully they filled out the form right. And so I have a little nugget to give them. I'm hoping to, shed some really great insights on your problem. And then let's look forward to meeting you. If you have anything you need from me, text me back.
Brilliant.
And I'm not saying, well, thank you, but it's taking something that is enhancing our productivity by doing it with systems and tools, but it's making it personal.
Yes.
And, that's what I hope to build loyalty. And I go back to the bank discussion. Literally, if I'm doing everything online,
what do I need them for?
I don't need them.
I can do that to Goldman Sachs.
I can do it through anybody, right? Yeah. Well, maybe Goldman Sachs will be a new sponsor. Anyway, but the whole thing is there's things we can do in any business, and I know that
I say that Goldman Sachs because of Apple, the credit card.
Yeah.
You can do it, and you get a better return on your investment when you do put, the high yield, as Amber will call it, high yield savings account.
Yeah. Little does Amber know that high yield used to mean
in the fives.
It used to mean like really high yield.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's funny though is you mentioned the onboarding experience, no matter if it's online or an in-person, having a real process in place to make them understand that it's more than just a technology play, right? I think about, you said something about, at BNN, we still do something that I know this is hard for people to understand, but we literally still pick up the phone.
Yes.
And call people, ask them a question. We talk to them. We help them. We pick up the phone. We call our agents, consumers, clients. People like systems and technology, but they also like what now we call old school, right? And it's making people feel that you're connected to them.
Well, I think that automation has a place,
of course,
in business. From BNN, I think that because we are a high touch kind of a business, and we still do it in a very slim and mean operations inside the office. But I think that where you want the automation is where it's not that human connection isn't needed. For example, looking at paperwork, I don't need a human connection on that. So I can probably put an agent there, right, that can look at that for me. But the parts that, like talking to a client or talking to one of our contractors and give them really good direction as to how to do the business piece, and so they feel confident enough going into that closing.
I totally agree. And it's interesting because I think this really all started with email and how email became this quick and easy way to avoid having to pick up the phone. And I think what you just described is technology is amazing and it's only getting better.
Yeah.
But it should be an enhancement to the process, not replace the personal touch. And
Yes.
I think that in everything we do, I remember one of the franchises that we're involved in. We loved the idea that they had systemically built this intake form to actually produce responses. That was awesome, right? Because it made that part consistent, right? There was no variation on how the question was asked. There was no variation on anything. But the output was put into a person's hands to discuss what the next steps would need to be
and recommendations.
Exactly. So to me, that was using technology to enhance and systemize for accuracy, efficiency, and yes, productivity, but it still allowed the human element to actually coach and consult that person into, yes, a sale and an upsell, because they now had the right information. It wasn't inconsistent with what they thought.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that's how people have to start using technology. And I see it so often that, everybody is promoting AI, and trust me, we use AI, and AI is a wonderful tool, but it shouldn't be. And I can't remember.
But we use it for efficiency and for efficiencies, right? Yeah. That to provide efficiencies where they need it, when it's needed. Not everything is AI. I don't want that in my life.
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk to somebody that can understand my frustration at whatever level it is. And I think that we are going so fast on everything that we are not slowing down to hurry up and to really take a look at our business and how we can really truly step above the noise.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about it, but nobody's doing nothing about it. It's just duplicating the same thing that everybody's doing because it feels good, and that's the trend.
Yeah. And I think what you're really nailing down is that we as business owners have to remember, if we do everything exactly the same as every other business that's like ours, then we are no different.
Yeah. There's no loyalty.
There's no individuality.
Nope.
And thus you're not breeding loyalty, because ultimately the output of the product is going to be exactly the same.
And I can get that kind of treatment cheaper somewhere else.
In most cases.
Yeah. You can't, if everybody is going to use AI to give me an experience, why would I want to pay $200 for a gym membership? Why would I want to pay $200 for a boutique to go get a massage? I mean, we have to really stop and think for a moment here that everything that is AI is not going to be great for us.
Completely agree. Well, guys, this is what we were hoping to get across, is that technology is a great tool. It is built for enhancing and increasing your productivity and your efficiencies. But don't forget, we must remember that if we don't deliver exceptional experiences for our customers, we're no better than the other, and there is no loyalty without the experience. Until next time, see you soon.
Till next time, let's get to work.